Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Beanie, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 center fielders in MLB The Show 17. The top MLB The Show center fielders that are currently available. So, no 99 Griffey because you aren't able to unlock him right now, but the 92 Griffey will be eligible. And by the way, guys, after I made the top 10 left fielder video, they did come out with one card that I think probably would have made the list. So before I start, I just kind of want to point him out. And that is the 94 overall Alex Gordon. Very good hitter, unbelievable defender. And he probably would have been placed at number 5 on my list, knocking Lou Brock back to number 6 and everybody behind him down one spot. So I just wanted to acknowledge that Alex Gordon card definitely would have made my top 10, and I think he probably would have been in at number 5, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at everything to get a perfectly accurate spot. He may have been like 6 or 7, I don't know, but he very, very good card, and if you can get him, I think he's definitely worth it. Coming in at number 10 on my list is the 93 overall Curtis Granderson. This I don't know how I feel about this about me putting him here. He's definitely on the list, and you know, if I were putting together a team, I may even put this guy on my team above guys that are ahead of him. But the only problem with him is using him as a starter in your lineup is kind of a crapshoot. If you put him in and you get a righty to face, this guy is one of the best cards in the game. He's basically better than Mike Trout if you're facing a righty pitcher. I truly believe that. But if you're facing a lefty, he becomes almost useless offensively. You know, you're still going to get that great speed and the great defense and all that, but on offense, he's just not going to do anything for you. 49-54 is just not enough to get the job done. I have this card on my team, and sometimes I start him and sometimes I don't. It's just kind of I don't know, I just kind of go on feel, but if you do use this card in your starting lineup, you definitely need to have him a platoon. And maybe like an early game platoon, so like the first time he comes up to bat, you may want to switch him out for someone who can hit lefties a little bit better. At number 9 on the list is the 93 overall Melvin Upton, and this is another guy that is just kind of tough to place on the list because he's a very good hitter. You know, his contact and vision are a little low. Your PCI isn't going to be the biggest, but he has a lot of power. And not a lot of power. He's well above average in the power department. And, you know, so if you can square up a ball, it's definitely going to go places. This is one of those cards that I feel like if you're playing on all-star difficulty, he is amazing, like one of the best cards in the game, or best center fielders in the game. But if you're playing on Hall of Fame and your PCI is already, you know, shrunken down quite a bit, he becomes a little more difficult to use. And, yeah, I think that, you know, it just kind of depends on what level you're at, whether or not you want to start this card. But I think even if you're at Hall of Fame and you're really good with your PCI, he's definitely a card that's worth having. He has amazing speed, he has good defense, and he has a great arm. And, you know, it's always nice to have that arm out there in center field that'll save you a run here or there. At number 8, we have the 92 overall Griffey Jr. And, you know, I could definitely entertain an argument that this guy should be higher. Against righties, he is very, very good, well above average, 81, 78. And that 88 vision helps out a lot, especially when playing on Hall of Fame. You know, your PCI is going to be a lot bigger because of that. And against lefties, he's okay. He has 87 contact, which is better than against righties, but he has that 51 power, so it's going to be tough to hit a lot of extra base hits or home runs with him, especially, you know, lefty on lefty, it's tougher on you anyway. But he's definitely not a guy that you would have to worry about platooning. Obviously, defensively, he is just a monster. 87 reaction, 90 fielding, and that 91 arm strength is unbelievable to have out there. I don't really worry about arm accuracy that much because with button accuracy, you kind of mitigate that whole thing. And the 84 speed, I think, will help you out in the field more than it'll help you on the base pass, just because he has that 37 stealing, and unless you really know what you're doing on the base paths, you know, I actually have a video that I've thought about putting out on that, about how to be more effective at like stealing bases and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to put it out though. Let me know in the comments if you want me to. But yeah, but out in the field, that 84 speed is going to help you a lot. He's going to get to almost everything, and he's got the arm to definitely save you a few runs here or there. At number 7, I have the 95 overall Andrew McCutchen, but really, him and the next 2 guys on my list, I really couldn't effectively separate them that well. So you could almost put them as like number 5, number 5A, and number 5B, because I honestly, I think as far as value goes, they all kind of have similar value. But this McCutchen is a great card. You know, 84, 68 versus righties, and he's amazing versus lefties, 99, 95. That 77 vision is better than most people. It's very good. Defensively, he is well above average, especially with a 78 speed to help you out. He's going to be okay on the base pass. He's going to take an extra base or 2 here or there. He may be able to steal a base or 2 for you every now and then, but he's not going to be, you know, just like a super threat out there. But still, this is a great card. Very balanced, and, you know, he may be a guy that you want to platoon with a guy like Granderson, just so you can guarantee yourself to have a monster up there no matter what. This is I always like to platoon these guys who are monsters against lefties, but still pretty effective against righties, because you can platoon them early in the game, and if later on they bring on a right-handed reliever, this guy will still get the job done against that righty. Another guy that I can think of that's kind of like that is the Jason Worth, the 91 overall Jason Worth. He's very effective in that capacity. And this is the second guy in that group that I just had a hard time separating. It's the 92 AJ Pollock. This card is also fantastic. He doesn't have those weird splits like McCutchen does, but you lose out on that power versus lefties, and that's kind of what you know, that I don't know. It's just he has enough power. This Pollock has enough power that you're going to be getting decent exit velos, and you're going to be able to hit home runs with him. He has excellent vision and excellent contact versus both sides, which I really like. And like I said, you could almost put this guy at 7 and put McCutchen at 5, and then the next guy at 6. You could put them in almost any order. Defensively, this guy is great. He has 80 speed with 82 stealing, and it might have been that 82 stealing that kind of caught my eye and made me put him a little bit above McCutchen, just because with 80-82 on the base paths, you're going to be able to effectively steal several bases against your opponent. That's very, very good. So yeah, I don't know. I just like this card marginally better, and I don't even know if I do like it marginally better. They're almost like you're going to get the same amount of utility out of them. I don't know. I know I keep repeating myself, but that's basically how I feel about them and the next guy on the list. And the next guy on the list is the 92 overall Renzo. And this card is extremely similar to the Andrew McCutchen in the fact that he's amazing versus lefties. He's, you know, almost maxed out versus lefties. And against righties, he's good, but he's not great. He has that 79 contact, 50 power. It's going to be okay for singles and stuff like that. But with his speed, that's okay. And against lefties, you're going to be hitting tons of tanks. So that's awesome. But I think the big separating factor with the Kane is a couple things. One, I like his defense better, even though his arm isn't quite as strong as McCutchen. If you're not up there in like the 90s or like high 80s with arm strength, you know, it's kind of hard to separate out. And I think 68 is fine. Like it's not going to be noticeably bad out there. And the 97 reaction with 93 fielding and 90 speed, he's going to be covering a ton of ground for you. The McCutchen is also going to be very good out there, but this is kind of like elite as far as, you know, route running and like getting to as many balls as possible and taking away those doubles and stuff like that. This card is elite when it comes to that. And the other separating factor is just his speed and stealing. 90, 83 is enough to where I think I can classify you in that quote-unquote terror on the base paths. type deal. You're going to be able to turn a lot of those singles into doubles, and oftentimes you'll be able to turn those doubles into triples, just from being able to steal bases effectively. At number 4 is a guy I feel like should almost be higher. Man, I really love this card. The 97 Kenny Lofton is a monster. This guy, 99, 97, 92 with the contact and vision. And guys, unlike the previous years, this guy has some pop. 65, 54 power, man, especially against righties. If you can square up a ball, that ball is going to go a long way. 65 power is not bad at all. I wouldn't classify this guy as just like a pure burner. This guy can swing the bat too. And on defense, a lot like the Lorenzo Cain, he's got great fielding, great reaction, and he's got that 96 speed. Like, man, like you can't. He's a burner. He's gonna be a terror. Like he's like every single he hits is definitely gonna be a double. And like the Cain, a lot of times it's going to turn into a triple. Hell, if you're facing Ron Buchter on the mound and the guy doesn't know how to slide step and you're on third base, still home with him. He's going to be safe. Like, I've done it before against guys that don't know how to slide step and have relievers or really slow windups. You can, like, it's possible to do that this year. I know it's kind of cheesy to do that, but if they all they had to do is know how to slide step and you can stop it. But yeah, this Kenny Lofton card is a beast. Is he worth doing the Indians collection? I think if you don't have center field locked down with you know, one of these studs and you have the stubs to do the Indians epic, I think he's totally worth it. I love this card, I really do. And it's not just because he was a Brave for a year or two. At number 3 is everybody's favorite cheese machine, the 94 overall Ichiro Suzuki. And him and Lofton, kind of like the previous 3, they are pretty close, but they do different things better. The Kenny Lofton has kind of a weak arm, but he has a little bit more pop and, you know, marginally more speed. The Ichiro is, you know, not quite as fast, although you know, it almost seems like he's faster sometimes when watching him on the base pass. He can freaking fly. And in the power department, he's pretty devoid of power. But I do think, you know, I always say that I think people overvalue arm strength, but I think Lofton's arm is noticeably bad. And a lot of times, like, I've noticed a lot of times with guys with arms as weak as that, like, think Ellsbury from last year, guys would hit ground balls up the middle, like those ground balls that are kind of in the gap, but they don't split your defenders and your center fielder gets there. And anybody with a halfway decent arm would hold that to a single because their arm is so weak. That your opponent is confident to run to second and turn that into a double. Like, it's noticeably bad. And the fact that this Ichiro card is, like, you're not going to run on this card ever. If it's not at the warning track, it is highly dangerous to run on this guy's arm. Plus, he covers tons of ground, you know, the 90 speed, all that. And he's great on the base paths, and he's going to get on base for you a ton. 99, 97, 93 is elite. It's almost as good as you can get as far as being like a slap contact hitter goes. At number 2, I think is pretty obvious. It's the Mike Trout. A lot of people may want me to put him at number 1, but I just couldn't get there considering who is at number 1. This guy's a 5-tool stud, tons of power, tons of contact. I've always hated his low vision. I've always hated it, but this year it's not as big of a deal because he has some incredible active quirks. By the way, guys, I'll repeat it again. Only live series cards have active quirks. The only time you ever need to look at quirks is if you have a live series player flashbacks. They don't affect you at all. But anyways, this guy has first pitch hitter and unfazed. That is so powerful right there. It's so powerful to have those two quirks because first pitch of the at-bat, you can be more aggressive and go after it, or you can be like me and be a little more disciplined and wait until you have 2 strikes before you ever pick the bat up off your shoulder, and you're going to get a boost to your PCI. It's going to make your PCI bigger, and that makes it to where vision isn't as big of a deal. Also, guys aren't going to want to throw you a lot of fastballs. Because this guy, well, you know, guys will throw you fastballs, but if they do, they're going to be in trouble because this guy crushes fastballs, and your PCI is going to be even bigger, and you may even get like a little bit more pop. And then they say, okay, well, I'll just throw him breaking balls. Can't do that either because this guy excels at hitting breaking balls. You literally cannot throw this guy a pitch without him just crushing it. You know, he's a monster in every sense of the word. If he had the day-night quirk or the home-away quirk or something like that, my God, that may even be enough to put him over the top as the best in the game, like better than the #1 guy. But he doesn't, and I don't think he is. He's not. This next guy is just, he in my opinion, he's the best card in the game. And that is the 99 overall Andre Dawson. Man, just offensively, let's just start there. 82-93 versus righties, 95-97 versus lefties with 90 vision. Your PCI is always going to be enormous. You don't need quirks or any gay shit like that to have, you know, a big PCI. He's got tons of power. I mean, you can... there have been so many balls, like, because this is like one of the overpowered cards that I actually have on my team. There have been so many balls that I've just like been completely off of with my PCI, and he's hit it for a home run. It's kind of dumb. Like, it's almost like the better you are with your input, the worse you hit the ball this year. But I've had tons of balls that should have been pop-ups that this guy's just turned into home runs. He's amazing offensively. Defensively, he might be the best defensive center fielder in the game, maybe outside of Ichiro, but 92-97 with 85 reaction, that's fantastic. Speed-wise, he has plenty of speed, 83-86. He's going to be great on the base pass for you. The ultimate five-tool player. A lot of times people will call out five tools, even me, whenever a guy has like 85 plus everything except for like arm strength and power. They're like 70 arm strength and 70 power. I guess they are a five tool because they're like average or better at everything, but this guy is literally elite at everything. Like all five tools. Like the only thing that he's not 100% elite on is speed, and even then, like, he's well above average. He definitely has plus speed. Like on MLB Pipeline, they would grade this like 65 speed. Like he's a burner. Yeah, this guy is incredible. Best card in the game right now, in my opinion. And definitely worth it to do the Nationals Team Epic. I did it early on. Yeah, so #1 card in the game, Andre Dawson. Yeah. So any of you guys that make an argument that Mike Trout is better than him, I can't see it. I just can't. Maybe in real life, yeah. In this video game, no. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for the top 10 center fielders. Tomorrow we will count down the top 10 right fielders, and then the MLB countdown series is over. Or is it? Nah, it's not going to be over. I'm going to come up with some new top 10s. I'm thinking about doing stuff like top 10 utility players, you know, top 10 budget players, top 10, you know, I don't know. I've always liked top 10 lists. I know it's kind of like a lazy way and uncreative way to make videos and stuff like that. I am well aware of that, but I've always liked top 10 lists. I don't know why. I like watching them. They're fun. They're fun to see what this guy's opinion is, you know, on the top 10. And like, I watch stuff that I'm not like even interested in. I'll watch the top 10 of it. So hopefully you guys kind of feel the same way about that kind of stuff. And I hope you're enjoying this series. I plan to keep it going. And yeah, guys, I will see y'all later. Peace.